Gentlemen, today's Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you by our Amazon page. Please remember to shop Amazon, and when you do, go to MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon or click the Amazon link on our website. It's the best way to shop and the best way to support this program. Now, on with the show.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hey, guys!
Good morning.
That was sort of the beginning of Electric Company.
Or good evening.
Wasn't it Goonies?
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys! Oh, Mike, as always, my mind went to Rita Moreno. I'm sorry.
Sloth.
Hey, there's nothing that's more gratifying for me. Maybe this says something about my personality, than to connect with you guys and overhear, like in mid-chastising, Oscar yelling at staff members. It truly gives me, it just makes me feel so loved. Well, I can't help it. I just feel that way.
It doesn't make me happy. I just
know.
feel like at times.
I know. Well, like nor does it make me happy when I yell at everybody else. But when I hear you yelling at somebody, and I know it does, it certainly doesn't make Matthew Bloom happy on his Monday.
Wrong.
But well, you've never done anything.
And there wasn't any yelling. It was more of, a Q&A.
There was more Q than A. A lot more Q. Like, what the hell do you think you're doing was one of the Qs. Mm-hmm.
And here's the great thing. I didn't know what in the world it was about. I just loved it.
Yeah.
I just listened to it because, what's that?
It really doesn't matter what it was about. I mean, it was stupid technology
maybe that's
stuff.
maybe with that attitude, Mr. Man, maybe that's why you're not succeeding at this job
Mike,
as much as you did.
What happened, and I was here for the whole thing, and I did love it because I had nothing to do with it.
Well,
there was a lot of
excuse me, that's the MO since '92. I mean,
there was lots of huge
But I will give you, this is Rob's personality when there is any altercation. This is it. That's the sound of shutting down. Now,
that's
we don't
not
count
the audio
that,
vault. No,
we don't count that as the audio
the sound
vault.
Of my personality.
We have an ethical culture audit after the show. This should be interesting to bring up during that audit.
What is that? You send me a vague text about that.
God, I forgot about that.
Do you want to cancel?
No.
Okay.
No, if you
Your mood completely changed.
No. By the way, if you picked any other day, no, seriously, I told you guys I've been very forthcoming with my upcoming weeks, and I would say if it was any other day, I am off to just get poked and prodded and prepped and
you're getting geared up.
Getting geared up, getting ramped up for the bionic surgery, which I'm very, very excited about. But anyway, it was just very refreshing to hear this. That's the MO. You have Love of Confrontation by Mr. Santana and Mr. O'Mara. We don't shy away from it. Mm-hmm. We probably drink it up a little bit. You have he doesn't fear confrontation, but he doesn't like to get involved, and that's Pony. Pony just doesn't want it. And then you have Rob, that if Rob could crawl under a desk and hide during the entire time, you would. You hate it.
Well, it has to be a plus-size desk. That's the problem.
But you hate it more than anything. I picture. Were you ever and this is really the ABCs of you. I didn't want to start the show this way. Did you have
Monday.
Did you ever have like moments? I remember when my parents would go at it as a kid, that it was really a horrible.
Well, as
time.
you know, Mike, I come from a broken home. And
I'm sorry for laughing at
but
that.
No, I don't ever remember. I don't ever remember my folks going at it as far as arguing. I do have one memory when I was like in kindergarten, like little kid, like 5 or 6, and I saw two of my uncles, George and Billy, really going at it with my grandfather, Big Daddy, yelling, and I think they were arguing politics. But I walked into the room. And they were, voices raised.
Yeah, you thought something was wrong.
And I really thought something was wrong. And to this day, it still flips
What side was Big Daddy on? Sorry. Okay.
He was on he was arguing against rash judgments and against good people.
So that and you remember, see, there it is.
But I really do think that might be the root of it. And I really don't like to see that happen, because these were people that, my family just got along. I know you'll say all sunshine and light, but that was an isolated incident that really flipped me out. And so I don't like that at all. So.
Yeah, and I think, Mike, the dynamic overall, we've chronicled it here on the show, and the more and more I understand where they're coming from, the better I am as a really a colleague to both Tony and Rob.
There's no fun in that. But anyway,
but it
yes.
still at times derails me because I felt myself going into the spin out of just asking questions and almost demanding and yelling, which is what you walked into.
Would you say, and please, now I'm just saying, and by the way, it's fun when we pull the curtain back, but as far as the interpersonal dynamic, have I, at least over, let's say, the last month, have I gotten a little better? Less frequent. It has to be less frequent, right?
The last month has been
Now,
great.
by the way, I would tell you
that's an
the
awful
last
small sample to take, isn't it?
Well, I'll take any sample at this point.
Sure.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, there are two things. Either I'm trying to be more understanding. That's not the responsibility.
You've been very understanding.
You have.
But the responsibility is not for me to be more understanding. I would say that the reason it's happened less and less is because there seems to be a greater efficiency in the operation. That's what I would say.
We are looking for efficiencies, and we're defining them even more. So, for example, as a school, while technically it's ramping down, the workflow for me, at least school-wise, has been broken up into segments, right?
Right.
So, and when I have that downtime, for example, this morning I said, I've been wanting to address this for a week now. Let's do this now, right?
Yeah, and you're taskmaster.
So it's getting together.
Right.
But more importantly, the idea that you and I always have had of someone's yelling at someone, that means they care, isn't necessarily correct. Because
that's crap. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Oscar, I don't mean to interrupt you,
I
but
still have to shake that.
Let's do this. Just this fun little experiment because she's here and she has blue hair today, and I noticed her. Look, I see the back of interns' heads. I see the back of interns' heads. That's how and suddenly I went, "Hey, blue hair," because that's like my ADD.
Yeah,
so our intern Brittany is on campus right now, and she, as we've mentioned before, she's not afraid of the microphone.
She's not a shy fry, Mike.
Brittany, I've got an exercise for you that I'd like you to do right now.
Hey, Mike, she's not a shy fry.
Not a shy fry. Brittany, I would like you, and I'm going to give you a minute here, to go around the room with Pony, Rob, Oscar, and Mike, and give us a sentence, or maybe even two, of a personality assessment. Yes, one sentence. Rob recommends. Yes. All right, Rob, I will defer to you on that. One sentence to describe the overall personality impression of each person.
Great question.
That is good.
Are you up to that task? Could you do that for us?
I think I can do it.
It's a lot of pressure. It's really putting you on the spot. It's a lot of pressure, but it has potential. That's why I do that. And Rob,
yes,
turn her microphone up.
Okay.
Thank you. You said not to yell, but that's that's
Mike.
The way.
This is your ball game, man. We're just playing
All right,
ball
Brittany.
with you.
So what it is, and if you guys want to kick in any suggestions,
Brittany,
this is just an overall description of the person. What kind of person?
Let's start with Diego to your left.
Oh, we can start as a practice with an intern. As a practice with, and Brittany,
and you can't say foreign. You can't. Yeah.
Why would I do that?
You know
it's
what?
fine.
That's a negative.
It's very
get that
canned.
out. She can say whatever she can say whatever she wants. There is no political correctness in this studio.
You can't say hard worker because he's not that either.
No.
Here's the thing,
Can
Brittany.
say pot addict. It's a hyphenated word.
May I give you the only direction you really need?
Okay, what's my direction?
You can say, first of all, she needs to be a little louder.
Okay. Yeah, you have to project.
Sorry,
as well.
I'll talk louder.
Are your headphones loud? Is that why you're talking
Well,
loud?
I'm talking about it the way I hear. So,
Okay.
Here, Brittany, here's the direction. You can say this is a personality assessment with a sentence, and it doesn't. And Rob, I don't think one sentence. I think whatever she.
All right,
can
whatever
do.
comes to mind.
But Brittany, I also don't want a novella for everybody. Okay,
Yeah.
I want it to be brief, to the point, and cruelty is encouraged.
Less is more.
Right, and honesty.
Let's
start
with
with Diego. Very good.
Okay, troublemaker.
Dangerous.
Rob is quirky.
No, hold on.
too
I'm
brief.
sorry. Now you've let me down already because
Quirky
you're giving us
or
one word.
quirky?
This is not word association.
Word is okay. So you want me to describe?
I would
completely?
like you to say what you think of their personality. He's something like this. He doesn't do this. He likes to do. I get the impression if I was ever to meet
Impression
him at
is
a party,
keyword.
I wouldn't
What
want to be. I'd want to
impression
run.
Do they give you, or do we?
All right,
give
start
you?
with Diego.
Oh, okay.
Round two. Here we go.
Okay,
Diego.
Diego.
Like
I
what
don't
you
know.
would say.
I haven't hung out with Diego enough.
Okay, that's fine. You can't get an
Thank
impression
you.
because
All right.
he's a non-factor. That's fine.
Very good. Let's go to Pony Boy Matt Bloom to your immediate right. Thank you.
Okay, he's very informative and he helps me out a lot.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, top out. Okay, and let's go to
Is that
Rob
wrong?
Spiewak. Rob Spiewak.
Remember, you said Corky before.
I did.
Like Corky from Facts of Life?
No.
Or-
And that
or
would
what's
be
the-
Life Goes On.
Life goes on. Sorry about that.
You're perhaps thinking of cousin Jerry from Facts of Life.
Thank you.
He's very insightful.
Oh, that is nice.
Oh, wow. She's lying.
I'm not lying.
What about
Why would I
Schmosker
lie?
Fantana?
Yes,
this
What
guy.
about Oscar? What about Oscar?
Does
All
he
right, I'm
enjoy
sorry.
long
I
No.
downs?
Sorry.
She said she doesn't like me.
All right. No.
Just
Did she
kidding.
say that? Did she say that?
How dare you? She didn't say that.
No. But from what I've heard, he doesn't make good decisions.
No, I don't.
Oh.
Yeah, the
Ah.
cactus.
As far as the
But he
gender-
wears nice shirts. He's always coming in with nice shirts.
Oh, nice.
He's a good dresser.
Black
Yeah,
label.
okay.
Solid.
And
Ding.
now I direct your attention to the screen directly in back of you. What about me?
No comment.
Wow.
You little shit!
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
The gun is missing. Whoever's got the gun shot the girl.
I shot her.
You?
I was going to expose you. I know. So I choose to expose myself.
Please, there are ladies present.
You thought Mr. Body was dead, but why? None of you even met him till tonight.
You're Mr. Body.
Wait a minute!
So who did I kill?
My butler. Oh, shucks.
This all has nothing to do with my disappearing nuclear physicist husband or Colonel Mustard's work with the new top-secret fusion bomb.
No. Communism was just a red herring.
But the police will be here any minute. You'll never get away with this, any of you.
Why should the police come? Nobody's called them.
You mean, oh my God, of course.
So why shouldn't we get away with it? We'll stack the bodies in the cellar, lock it, leave quietly one at a time, and forget that any of this ever happened.
And you'll just go on blackmailing us all.
Of course. Why not?
Well, I'll tell you why not.
Good shot, Green.
Are you a cop?
No, I'm a plant.
A plant? I thought men like you were usually called a fruit.
Very funny. FBI.
I told you I didn't do it.
All right, who done it?
You did. Right.
They all did it.
But if you want to know who killed Mr. Body, I did. In the hall. With the revolver. Okay, Chief, take him away. I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his office chair, here's Mike.
We are live from the Pfeiffer Room in the heart of our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. This is the Mike O'Mara Show, on the air and online everywhere. The Mike O'Mara Show, a daily radio internet broadcast with the greatest listeners in the universe. That sounds so old-fashioned. I'm going to rewrite that. Our listeners get it, and if you're here, you will do. Our phone lines are open at 888-920-MORE. That's 888-920-6673. When we're on, you can call us anytime. Oscar gives me a thumbs up, and we go right to your phone call because it's that much fun. And remember, on Wide Open Wednesdays, we tape the show at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and you can call us anywhere in the United States or the world, for that matter. We got a call from Istanbul, Turkey last week, and we love to hear from our international colleagues. The show today is brought to you by Framebridge. Remember when cameras and phones were two separate things? I do.
Sure.
I remember when phones were attached to the wall.
Curly cords.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember, but there's still the good humor, man. Anyway, the way you do, and little kids still point at the pictures of the ice cream and begin the lifelong addiction to big sugar. The way we take pictures has changed, but the way we frame them hasn't. The people are totally together at FrameBridge. FrameBridge.com is the easy new way to frame things you love, whether it's a picture on your phone or a poster or fine artwork. Anything you want. FrameBridge makes it easy and affordable. Just go to FrameBridge.com. I have a FrameBridge picture of my lovely son, Michael. This is, boy, I'm thinking last year. I'm thinking this is last year that I had this picture. So he was soon to be 2. Now he's soon to be 3. He's getting so big.
Growing up.
But I look at this gorgeous picture of him every single day, and I got mine framed at FrameBridge. You really, all you have to do is get your phone to them, get your pictures to them, rather. Then you can also ship your art to FrameBridge in a prepaid package, or you can upload a picture, just like I said. You get your frame piece in days, not weeks or months. They get it done quickly, delivered right to your door. And instead of paying hundreds at a framing store, FrameBridge prices start at $39, and all shipping is free. I know you've got something in the listening audience lying around that you want to frame, or a photo on your phone that you go to and say,
yeah.
By the way, how many of us go through the phone and go, man, I should really frame that? Now you can do it with FrameBridge. Right now, if you go to FrameBridge.com and use the promo code TMOS, you will save an additional 15% off your first order. Remember, FrameBridge.com and TMOS. That's 15% off your first order at FrameBridge.com. And remember our promo code TMOS. So, hello, happy post-Father's Day.
Hey, great
everybody.
picture of you and your boy, speaking of which, on the couch. I loved that.
Well, I decided with all the the death and sadness and all of that it'd be a good day for Father's Day to change the cover page and put up a picture of me and my little guy. And he's I was up with him. Today's Daddy's Day. Yes, nothing like Monday doing the duty at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. If anybody was counting, 5 a.m. in the O'Mara household. That's the rally time with the
So
the little
Daddy's
guy.
Day is different than Father's Day?
Yeah, but by the way, I found out Rob Spiewak gets up 5 o'clock every day now.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. So
Sure.
you, that's great.
It is
that's
great.
Wonderful. I think it's wonderful what you're doing. It's kind of like getting ready for a morning show. you know?
Almost, yeah.
It's terrific. Do you get up to? Do you do work at 5 a.m. or do you actually get up and get ready to rally and come?
He's
got
to leave early, right?
Well, I have to hit the road at 7 to get here on time. So
Okay,
I
so
get
you
up
do
and
you do your
I
show
floss
prep.
and
Okay.
shower, and then I show prep, and then off the road, fresh-tailed and
No
bushy-eyed.
alcohol, though, because it dries your skin.
Right, exactly.
Then I do the rest of my routine because alcohol makes your face dry.
Right.
No,
I
because
walk around the
alcohol
master
dries your
suite dry, all
because
naked.
alcohol dries your face out and makes you look older. I love that. Yeah, so it was.
Rob going from room to room, buck naked.
Just naked, beautifully naked.
Things have changed in the O'Mara world. I will tell you this: that I no longer. I still enjoy a good old fashioned, stay out all night, but
Sure.
I can't handle it quite as much. And
It's
so,
the bounce back, isn't it? I mean, you can
It's the
still
bounce
do the
back.
night.
Yeah, I can do the night standing
Yeah.
on my head,
Mhm.
but I can't recover from it. So I decided that we had an opportunity to go out with a friend, with one of Carla's friends, and we just pulled the trigger on it because it was Sunday, it was Father's Day, and I decided, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be a dad. I'm going to have a great Father's Day morning, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to do my thing out on the deck, and I'm going to power wash everything in sight. I'm going to take my power washer, and I'm going to do the job properly, which is
Like
one
you
of the
paid
rare
for
times
it.
I've done
Yeah.
it. Like I paid
Yeah.
for it. And by the way, if you have, for example, concrete, the proper way to power wash a concrete area is to take the solution. There's magic, better living through chemicals.
Right.
Take the solution that they give you. I used to think that the sheer power of the water is what is required. Well, that's not true.
You need the
Because that will
organic
do-
bleach.
That will do damage. Yes, thank you very much. It's wonderful, powerful chemical, and you cover the entire surface area just kind of like a light little wash, and you let
Do you
it sit
sprinkle
there and
it?
Let
Do
it
you
soak.
You
spray
sprinkle it. It's got a separate nozzle on the piece of crap power washer that I own.
Is that the brand you own?
That's the brand, piece of crap.
The POC 4000?
Yes, sold by Lowe's and Home Depot.
Nice.
And several Ace Hardware stores. All of them. Piece of crap, cheap price, breakdown quickly.
Isn't Ace the place for the helpful hardware man?
It is, and I've done a lot of dealings with that particular guy. He's a little verbose,
I
a
understand.
little chatty, a little chattier, and also a little sanctimonious. It's like, well, of course it's this drill. I said, well, of course grab my right nut, okay? Thank you.
Do you wear eye
Dick.
protection? I learned that the hard
I
way.
do not.
They could
I should.
definitely
Well,
some,
the
He
job's been
squints.
done.
some brush back.
The job's been done.
But do you wear your
and-
glasses?
Yeah, I wore my
Oh,
glasses.
that's something. That's something.
Well,
yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't wear the glasses for that yesterday. But I'll tell you, I think it's going. I think it's gone. There was just a small fleck of paint that got under my cornea. Oh, I'm sorry.
Just a little pre-code concrete under there.
I'm just joking.
Concrete from before the war.
Hi, Brittany. Anyway, so anyway, the thing about it is that I was really proud that I laid the groundwork. I tend to haul power equipment around like a power washer. I don't put it away properly. I let all the hoses just kind of hang.
Mm-hmm.
I am not handy. I have said this on multiple occasions. I am not handy. I don't like these household tasks that some men are phenomenal at. I try them all the time. I've been trying them since my mid-20s when I first became a member of society, but I'm not good at it. I'm not. So
What's the disconnect? Where do you think what prevents you from being handy?
It's the same thing that prevents me from being probably a really good cook. It's patience.
Yeah, patience.
I have no patience.
Yeah, you have to do so
patience.
much prep, and you have to really. At least for me, I do everything wrong still, but I've learned to watch YouTube. Watch the whole video.
Really do it and be patient about it.
Let the rube on the little screen show me how to do it because I'm going to mess it up. But
by the way,
takes
YouTube,
time.
as far as YouTube is concerned, the greatest contribution to online do-it-yourself work is YouTube. I remember cleaning out an electric golf cart and actually looking at the guy running a hose over it after he sprayed this moisture. I said, you would never think to spray something wet on a battery.
Right.
And there he was. And, man, I looked at this thing, and it was just flawless afterwards.
And it's not just one battery. It's like 16 batteries.
It's 16 batteries, and you spray the little solution on it, this car crud stuff that he recommended, and it took 8 minutes. My perfect job.
Yeah.
I love that day. Now, with the power washing, it's this process. And I said, okay, this time you're going to do it properly. And the first way to do it properly is to get all the hoses in order. Get everything the way it should be. And I went out to the house, and there's a particular hose that's attached to another hose. Huh?
You keep it in the garage?
Yeah, we keep it in the garage. No, we do the Santana method. We leave it right out on the front porch.
Well, and no one's taken it yet.
Right on the sidewalk. No. So there's one hose that was bent, that was damaged. Now, the old Mike would say, get the pliers, mash the thing to fit into so you can connect the two hoses, and then you can have all the water pressure shooting out. The new Mike, Mrs. O'Mara, was going out to buy some lovely little flowers. And I said, would you please pick up 20 feet of hose for a brand new hose? And I proceeded to remove everything from the deck.
A little
using
prep
that. What's that?
Prep work.
Prep work.
Exactly.
I used every second to just put everything where it's supposed to be. Whereas the old Mike would have gotten the pliers, connected the hose, have it shoot everywhere where it's not supposed to be, power washed around the lawn furniture, and it would have been a cluster F, and I would have taken 10 times the amount of time. I would have used more solution
Would have
than I
ruined
needed.
the furniture with a solution.
Now, this
Right.
bent hose, this is a garden hose? Just a standard garden hose?
Well, it's a garden hose. Mrs. O'Mara didn't quite get the exact hose that I recommend. There are two types of those green hoses, okay?
Right.
You get the light green solid, doesn't have any nylon through it or anything like that, which is durable. And if you don't really screw it up, it's a rubber hose up your nose, and you're going to do real well with it.
It's called the Barbarino, Mike.
Then there is the green. You've seen it. It's the darker green. It's always cheaper, and it's crap.
Yeah.
It's pure crap. It's probably good for about
Suicides.
maybe 6 months. Suicides. I wasn't going to go there, but
You don't want to spend
it's
too
cool.
much money on a suicide.
No.
But she came back. I attached it. I uncoiled all the stuff. I put the solution in. I remembered from the last time when I put the. I thought that the soap and the power of the hose would clean simultaneously because I didn't read the instructions.
Right.
Now I know that the soap is simply something you put on as a pre-coat.
That 15
then
minutes is an eternity, though.
It
It's
is because you want to get going.
forever.
You want to get.
You want to be
corking on it.
done.
Yeah, and so I put all the solution out there, and then I looked at Carla, who was on the elliptical where she lives now. It's where she lives there. She sleeps there. That's where she's on the elliptical all the time. That's what she does. She's on the elliptical. Where's Carla? Where's the elliptical? All right, baby climbing the furniture again, hanging from the ceiling fan. Where's Carla? Elliptical. That's the way it goes. She's on the elliptical the whole time. So I looked at her, and I pointed at the watch, and she goes, It's going to dry out over there. And, of course, the sun we get down here,
Sure.
it was already starting to dry. I got it done, and I did everything except for one tiny little detail that I probably wouldn't do if I did it again.
What's that?
And that detail was you probably, when you're moving from location to location on your deck, you should probably go back to the machine, make sure there's enough hose, and gently wheel it over to the next play. That was the area of patience that I chose to ignore. And so when it was time for me to go to the next section,
Let me ask a question before
I
you
tugged.
proceed. Yeah, I was going to say,
tugged.
is there a handle on the power washer?
Yes, there is a handle.
And the
It's an
handle,
electric hand washer.
Yeah,
it's an
yeah.
electric power washer.
They're not made to be pulled on.
No,
They're not made to be probably yanked.
no.
They're not made. By the way, they're probably not made to be used more than twice. Rube City, that
Disposable.
fabulous new Home Depot, Rube City. Welcome to Rube City. Here's your electric power
Mike,
washer.
You're just a victim of Big Wash.
Yeah, big wash. That's
What
what I got.
happened?
Well, I pulled and got the job pretty much finished.
Yeah.
And decided I'd go back to the first part of the project and do a little finish up. And it was at that moment where I gave one last tug and I heard. Suddenly, we were in the tropical rainforest where there were not one but 8 different spigot holes where apparently I had been tugging on this weak point of the hose, and it's the hose that goes from the machine to the nipple. It's not the garden hose part.
Right.
That was brand new and handling itself very well. So it was like in 20 different directions, and so I panic. I'm standing there. I said, "What do I do?"
Dial 911! Dial 911!
I turn off the machine.
He's got a Samsonite on him.
I turn off the machine. Nothing's changed. I'm being soaked. The water is coming down. I go over to the hose, turn off the hose. It slowly settles down, and I see that where I pull on the thing it has been broken. So what's the first thing I think? I'm a hairy homeowner.
You're going to fix it?
Duct tape.
Yes.
Duct tape. I'm going to use duct tape. So I go to the little hose. I straighten it out. I see where all the little cracks and the holes are. And I do this very meticulous taping of duct tape. Turn it back on. Turn the hose back on. Fire it up. It's coming out 15 different directions where the duct tape is. And then the machine goes, "Arr," and just stops. And so I'm like, and then I'm going, F it.
Did you kick it off the
Nothing
deck?
worse. I brought it back to the garage where it will sleep with the fishes forever, where it will not be part of that, because I know it'll never work again because they're so fragile, these machines. And by the way, I had the last one that I took back to the store. Remember where I went to the
remember
guy?
that, yeah.
Remember the slacker guy that's like, "Well, we don't do that," you know?
Right.
I'm like, okay, why don't you? It's right out front. You just keep it. Keep the piece of S. You keep the piece of crap. I'm getting back in my car because I don't want to deal with it. Well, I'm not going to go through that again.
No.
And I don't see. That's another thing. It's patience to go through. Put it in the car. Take it to the repair
They'll
guy.
take back anything.
That's gonna. They didn't take this, but they. I just left it there. It's not like they gave me anything for it.
Oh, that's right.
I just left it there out of
Like an
frustration.
orphan.
Yeah. I just
Take
left it on the
that.
street and said, "It's out there. Probably not working real good. Maybe you can get it to work." That's what your people are for.
Good
They had a
luck.
repair shop right next to the Home Depot.
Do you suppose it was the water that was going everywhere, got into the electrical stuff, and it shorted it out?
I don't know.
Does it open to a larger suite?
I don't
The
know.
motor probably seized at that point. Supposed to get all the air out.
All I know is when I went to, it's got a little like, how would I describe this? This little like dildo interface that's between the power
That's
cord.
the
on
interlocking
one side.
connector.
Wasn't
Quick
he-
It's the
interlock.
interlocking, and
Wasn't he-
that's going,
Quick
what-
release.
and
Quick
that's
release,
going,
Mike.
that's going like this right near the electrical side. It's going,
Bad
and it was
sexual experience.
and it was smoking.
He was my favorite character in The Hobbit. Dildo interface.
Dildo interface. Thank you. By the way, we would have talked for 5 hours and he would have gotten that in there. He wanted it.
My
He had
apologies,
to.
Mike.
He had to. Yeah,
was
yeah.
in
Your
my brain.
apologies for being funny. All right. Anyway, I said it because he's thinking it. Sorry that I'm trying to be funny, fat ass.
Wow.
Anyway,
Didn't think fat ass.
We'll take. Thank you. We'll take a break and come back with more fun and more thrills. I have a television pick to click, a show.
Please.
If our listeners don't love it, there is no TV to be loved.
Whoa,
and I'm
wow.
not kidding you. It's standard all the way along, except for one little factor that's very, very taboo and very filthy and a little gross. You'll love it. We'll have that when we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hello? Hello, it's me, Pedro. I don't have much to say, but I wanted to tell you that while I ride my bike to school, I like to listen to the Cake and Cookie Show with Rob and Katie. They're really good. I was looking for a podcast about building cakes or something, and it wasn't until a few episodes in that I realized that Cake and Cookies wasn't about cake or cookies. But I still like Rob and Katie, so I still listen. You can find them on iTunes or on the Mike O'Mara Show app. I'm feeling really hot. I'm gonna go home and lie down.
Cake and Cookies. Rob and Katie. It's the
I
Rob
love
and
it.
Katie Show.
I love it. Two of the sweetest people in the world that just bust each other's chops and try to keep under control that incredible sexual tension
Burning,
between the two of them.
burning red hot.
Absolutely, and their spouses just sit there and let it happen, and one day it's going to explode. It's going to explode, and there's going to be sex and gunfire and bodies everywhere.
Jaw
It's going to be
surgery.
terrible. It's going to be terrible.
We're going to need to reset the jaw, yeah.
Anyway, welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Ring. There's a home burglary every 13 seconds. Did you know that? That's more than 4 per minute. Most of them happen in broad daylight, and they usually start with the crook ringing your doorbell to make sure that you're not at home. Then they break in. It's almost the standard MO for these burglars. The Ring video doorbell has been proven to stop burglaries before they happen by allowing you to see and speak to anyone approaching your door just by using your smartphone. Now, Ring is using their advanced motion detection technology to protect your entire property with the Ring of Security kit. The kit includes a Ring video doorbell for your front door and a Ring stick-up cam. It's a wireless, weatherproof HD camera to keep an eye on other parts of your property. Mr. O'Mara is buying this afternoon.
So cool.
The Ring video doorbell and the stick-up cam both install in minutes, and together they provide 24/7 monitoring of your entire home, whether you're in the living room or thousands of miles away. Right now, for a limited time, our listeners can get $50 off the Ring Security Kit. It's the lowest price anywhere. Just go to ring.com/TMOS right now. Hey, I talked about patience before. If you're somebody that just doesn't want to wait for the security company to come out, you want to do it yourself and you want to do it fast and efficiently and easy, go to ring.com/TMOS and get $50 off. That's ring.com/TMOS. That is a wonderful, wonderful
Boom, bam.
product.
Great product.
I love the doorbell. You're going to love the camera as well. All right, so I told you last week that I nixed Veep. I know you guys love Veep. I don't like Veep. I don't watch it. Then somebody recommended Feed the Beast. I didn't get a chance to tell you about David Schwimmer, but maybe I talked a little bit about it. He's sad.
You couldn't handle the Schwimmer.
I hate Schwimmer. And by the way, you watch good television and then you watch a show like Feed the Beast and you realize that it's so hack, it's so jive. By the way, they have the bad guy in Feed the Beast is called the Tooth Fairy, and one of the lines is, "Listen, I'm gonna let you hold on to that money," and he taps him on the shoulder. "For future dental work." And he walks in, you're like, like right out of the 50s. It was crap. It's
bad
like comic
writing,
book.
man.
Feed the Beast is terrible. However, a friend of ours down here, nobody online did this, which is a local friend of ours down here, recommended, has anybody watched, I think it's on TNT, Animal Kingdom with Ellen Barkin?
No.
I knew nobody has seen it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is Ellen Barkin.
I've never
who
even
is-
heard of it.
She is at her Ellen Barkiniest. By the way, I've been a fan of Ellen Barkin since the New Orleans movie,
Came
The
out
Big
this year.
Easy.
Yeah,
It's absolutely, it is so different from anything I've said. And let me tell you why. First of all, it's an other side of the tracks crime story about a mother and her sons that are basically a crime ring. They're a burglary ring. That's what they do.
An hour-long
And
drama series, this is.
it's a series. It's a
Okay.
series. And the thing is, I've gotten the pilot and the first 2 episodes under my belt.
Lots of
And
sex in the trailer, Mike.
There's lots of sex in the trailer. Here it is, though. This is there. You're watching the pilot, and the first thing you see is you look at Ellen Barkin, who I believe is 60-something, and you say, pretty darn well preserved after all these years. And she's always had that kind of boozy, harsh look about her.
Hi, darling.
And so to be the mother of this, the Ma Barker of this crime family, it kind of works.
Sure.
And the thing is, I'm not giving anything away with the pilot if you start to watch this show, but it's the grandson, her grandson from her estranged daughter. The daughter dies of an OD. That's how it starts.
Okay.
And then the whole plot ensues with him having nowhere else to go, and he takes up with the grandmother and all of her uncles. Okay? That's it. That's the only thing I'm going to tell you about the plot. I will tell you that the casting in this is just incredible because all these guys seem like real badasses.
Mm-hmm.
They truly.
Any other
truly
names
do.
in it that we would know?
I couldn't.
I'm
give
pulling
you,
up the IMDb.
You'd know the faces.
All right.
Some of these guys are really known actors, but the one thing. The one thing that is a little kinky about this particular show.
Scott Speedman is Baz. You'll recognize
Baz
him.
is a pretty well-known actor.
Oh, yeah.
Baz
Okay, I
is
know
a
that
pretty
is,
well.
sure.
Scott Speedman.
And Pope is another one in the show that's always plays kind of a weirdo. But so you think, well, standard run-of-the-mill outlaw family, kind of a Sons of Anarchy vibe, but really not. Just different. I'm like, okay, I'll give this a shot. Now, who are you showing him?
Sean
right now?
Hattasey.
Oh yeah.
Is that Pope?
Pope.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, watch out for him. So the thing
Looks
about
like a burn
it is,
victim, but not.
it goes on and on.
One who'd had a good recovery though.
Yeah.
Right. And it goes on, and obviously there's no father figure involved in this. And then in either the pilot or perhaps it was the first episode, Carl and I are watching this, and one of the sons gets up, and he's in the bedroom. He's got, it's one of those classic scenes where he's got the two women that he slept with the night before, and you see him all naked. And he gets up naked, and he walks in, and apparently they're all making noise in the kitchen, and he's mad. So he gets up. I told that coffee machine that damn. And he walks in, and he said, I told you to get rid of that coffee machine. And the mother and the other brothers and the grandson, they're all in the kitchen. And I said to Carl, I said, is he still naked?
Well, he needed a towel off.
And he's naked, like walking in front of his mother and this is like a man in his 30s or late 20s. And I'm sitting there, okay, this is that. Now I got a little of the creepy vibe. So he's going to break something, and then he walks over.
Yeah,
he
is.
She says, calm down, sweetie. And she gives him a little kiss, and I'm like, he's naked. Come on. This is so they suddenly it's like the little light in my head goes off. And by the way, I'm probably giving this show much more credit, but I will tell you, in the O'Mara household, it was kind of weird and quirky. And we said, oh, they're doing the whole Oedipus thing, but they're doing it on steroids. And there's just this whole weird vibe.
And it speaks
with
to
Mama.
the fact that there's nothing on television right now.
There's nothing on television to watch.
You're giving it a lot of attention, and because it's
Yes.
different, you're
Right.
in. You're all
Yes.
in. Yeah.
It is so. And look, when you have great actors and you have some credible acting, there's just a lot of weird stuff going on. And I will tell you, I'm sticking with it. And you just realize between a totally jive show and then jumping to a show that really does what I think a lot of art should do and a lot of media should do, it makes your flesh crawl a little bit. It makes you squirm, and I could not tell you a better thing that's on TV right now. It's called Animal Kingdom, and it really, really is fun to watch. I think people will get a charge on it.
Daniela
At least I like the first few
Alonso
episodes.
is very, very fetching.
Is that the wife?
The wife.
Dark hair?
That's the wife of Baz. That's Baz. See how all in I am to this
You
show?
are. You know the
It's
character's
incredible.
name and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
With
you're
that
right.
said, I watched Game of Thrones last night, so I don't know whether Oscar, yay or nay, as far as the episode.
I was hanging out with my mom, and she doesn't have HBO.
Brittany just gave me a thumbs up. It was good, but don't spoil. No spoiler alert, but it was a good one.
Oh, it was an awesome one. You missed a
That's
lot.
what I want to hear.
Hey, shush,
All right.
shush, shush. I'm
All right,
racing home to watch that. I asked my mom, I said, what about we call HBO? And she says, what about you do this every time you come home?
Mike, I don't know if you trust him as a TV reviewer as well as a movie reviewer, but this morning Kevin McCarthy on Fox 5 said it's the best episode in the history of the series.
Really?
Oh
wow.
my God! The one time I go to Olney.
Well, there was a hell of
no
a lot
hard
going
feelings.
on. There was a lot going on the Magic Box, and of course, we'll talk about that when we come back. Sports, because I think it's a big day for the
I did
for the
watch
city
the
of
final.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we'll talk. We don't do sports very often, but when there's a national championship in
history,
the NBA
Mike.
It was.
and in the greatest game of all time, golf, the United States Open, we'll talk about the
United
Nerd
States
Fest.
Open.
Yes, it was the United States. It is the United States
I know,
Open.
but you never hear it referred to as the United States Open. They always
Well,
say
it's run
US
by
Open.
the United States Golf Association,
Yes.
which is not a professional organization. It's an amateur one. And they cemented that reputation as a bunch of hack douche amateurs. And this is what happens when nerds take over the world. We'll take a break. We'll talk about that when we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show. Oh, okay. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Harry's. I was just trying to summon Mrs. O'Mara into the studio.
Yes.
Because I said I wanted her to take her gentle right hand and just run it across my face.
Oh, look at you.
Because I'm just about an hour and a half away from my little Harry's shave, and I tell you, I love my Harry's. I really, really do. You paid way too much for razors for years, and don't pay too much for a comfortable shave. You probably settled, for low quality razors if you didn't want to get something that was in the middle of the road. Stop compromising. Please don't do that. Get started with something that we love on the Mike O'Mara Show. It's Harry's. I shave with it every single day. Harry's offers a great shave at a great price. They make their own high-quality razors. They eliminate the middleman. Good shave, good price, simple. Get the best of both worlds at Harry's. Harry's makes just one razor, and that razor is all you need for a close, comfortable shave every time. I'm addicted to it. I have to say that. It's that quality. It's that good. We're talking 5 German-crafted blades, a flex hinge, lubricating strip. I shave with Harry's every day, and you should too. Harry's starter set called the Truman. Hey, Truman, so big. No, it's like Harry Truman, I think, right?
Yeah,
Rob?
sure.
Harry Truman.
Harry's starter set is called the Truman. It's an amazing deal that's perfect for new customers. Just $15. You get a razor, handle, a moisturizing shave cream, and 3 of Harry's 5-blade German-engineered razors. Plus, for our listeners, Harry's will shave $5 off your first purchase with the promo code TMOS. Go to harrys.com and look for the Truman set. That's HARRYS.com. Enter code TMOS at checkout to get $5 off and help support our show. Stop compromising. Give Harry's a try and do it today. Welcome back to the show.
You know what, Harry
Congratulations.
is
Yes.
cool. I want to I got to add this on. One of Robert's friends invited him to a birthday party, and he's one of the 8th graders that has the mustache going on.
Oh, the pencil.
Yeah, the little pencil thing going on.
Get him Harry's.
And that's what we're getting him for his birthday. We're getting him the Truman set. And Robert
That's
says,
awesome.
Do you think it'll embarrass him? I said, I think he'll feel 10 feet tall.
Yeah,
to get
sure.
a
Think it's
razor
a
and
razor.
shaving
Yeah,
cream.
but when you're a kid, it's so weird. You don't realize how cool it is to have facial hair until all your friends get facial hair.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
right.
perfect for him to
Yes.
be like, finally, I can take away this mustache.
Thank you, Mrs. Spiewak.
Anyway,
we really
that's cool.
appreciate the gift.
Thank you. Hey, the Mike O'Mara Show sends out congratulations to the city of Cleveland. Wow, wow, wow. We have a lot of listeners.
Is no more, Mike.
The Whore of Akron. I just on a whim, it's funny you brought that up, Oscar. I went online, Facebook, and looked up Scott Rabb, the author of The Whore of Akron. I'm not sure where he is now with that. He wrote a book literally describing the departure of LeBron James to the Miami Heat and how it effed the city of Cleveland. Well, of course, so much has transpired since that book was written, with LeBron coming back to the city of Cleveland. And just, for a long-suffering city, it was fun to watch that last night and see that reaction. But it's funny you mentioned the Whore of Akron.
Well, because you opened my eyes up to that premise because you read the book and you shared it with us here on the show.
Yeah, you were
I
red
didn't even
hot
have a
on
dog
it
in
when
the
it
fight.
came out. Yeah.
What's that, Rob? I'm
You were
sorry?
red hot on that book when it came out. You were right on top of it.
Well, it was fun to me because it represented the modern athlete at his very worst, and taking the paycheck and getting out of the difficult situation. And it's strange. I don't know the motivations. I haven't studied the issue with LeBron and coming back to Cleveland. His motivations on the surface seem to be very noble. That he's coming back to where he grew up,
city, yeah.
and he was incredibly emotional. At the same time, the Golden State Warrior fans, we have so many fans of that team that listen to it, including our dear friend Cappy Pfeiffer. Sorry, Cappy, sent her a message last night, and she was very, very nice to let me know that it was sad, but I said, but take heart, you don't live in Cleveland. Anyway, no. But as I get older and as I watch cities, it's great to see the city that's long suffering, especially a place like Cleveland, the butt of so many jokes over the years, have one in the win column. And I just like to say, Cleveland, you didn't burn the city down last night. Congratulations. You didn't burn anything
move.
up. I think a couple of guys jumped on a squad car and that was it. But really it was fun to watch. And I mean, incredibly exciting right down to the final. And there's really you can't punch any holes in that sporting event. It was pretty well delivered. Teams both fought like hell. The fans were great on both sides. The announcers did a great job. And then you have the other national championship that we have, which is the U.S. Open in golf, which was the greatest, the greatest cluster F. And it was the perfect storm of badness in sports, okay?
All corners were covered?
All corners. Yes, go ahead,
Like, I
Oscar.
tuned in, and I probably the last hour of the coverage, and I thought...
Your mom got that channel?
Oh, yeah, it was, a network, so she sprung for that. I sat there and I said, do they know they're on air? Because they showed the panel of Joe Buck and the two guys.
Yeah. Because
they were so confused of what they were talking about with the penalty. I said, they don't know they're on camera.
Yeah.
What is happening?
It is it's strange. They're the new kids on the block as far as golf coverage, and I think that they are pretty wrapped up with the dignity of the game and just trying to be super serious when it's a game. And one of the things that I like about it is that CBS, when you get a guy like David Faraday, who's now with NBC, but he was with CBS, you get the lightheartedness of it and a complete incredible knowledge of both broadcasting and the game of golf, and that makes for a very entertaining thing. Fox has no idea what they want to do, and this is just like when Joe Buck branched out and got the TV show on HBO that sucked.
Right.
Now he's branching out into an area that he doesn't know. By the way, Fox, you got 3 other networks that do a better job covering golf than you do.
Yeah.
You got ABC with Mike Tirico, who does an incredible job. You got our friend Nancy, Jim Nance, who does an extremely good job. He may be full of himself, but don't ever slight him as a broadcaster.
No, he's sort of the gold standard for golf.
He's the best there is. There's no comparison. And then you get Johnny Miller, the color guy on NBC, that makes up for the guy who sounds just like Jim Nance, whose name I don't know, who's been there a million years too, who does a good job. So
it's a Nance spot, Mike. It's something they created in the lab.
Yeah, but it's not Fox's fault that the U.S. Open was such a suckfest. In the middle of the game, in the middle of the match, in the middle of the tournament, the final round of the U.S. Open, Dustin Johnson, I'll speak about him in a moment, but this is just my little golf moment. He puts his putter behind the ball, and then he pulls it back, and he does some practice swings, and before he's going to make his putt, it moves a millimeter.
It
moves
moved,
just a
Rob.
fraction
He was
of it.
very excited.
It moved. And they, as opposed to, he called a rules official over. They had a discussion about it. They told him to go about his business, and then he continued to play. I think it was the 5th hole.
So what you saw was indicative of the rules committee waving it off, like it was a
I
non-issue.
don't know. I think it was discussed, and he said, did you do anything to move it? No, I didn't. You kind of self-police yourself in the game of
Sure.
golf.
Yeah.
That's the gentleman's game it is, and you're supposed to. So they move on. They come up to him on the 12th hole, and this is what
After
we're told.
the fact.
Well after the fact.
Yes, like he's
And-
playing. He's
Wow.
playing well, and he's in the zone.
Yeah. He's in the zone. He's competing with like a 1-stroke lead for a the national championship. They come to him on the 12th hole, and they say, by the way, we're reviewing that again. We're not sure whether it's going to be a penalty, but we're going to make the decision after the round. It was this
After
is
the
what
round?
Yeah. Here's the problem. All right, with the United States Golf Association. I said to you guys, the game which I love, which I play, which our listeners have even given me tickets to for the Masters.
Oh,
next
you
year,
haven't seen them yet.
Which, although it's still there in Steven's drawer, probably, but the The high sparrow.
He has a secret box, Mike, with a series of knobs and levers.
They're in
The
his
high sparrow.
chambers.
Stop it. That is terrible. I don't want to go there. We're too many things going on. They tell him on the 12th, but they don't make the call. They say, we're going to review it after the round. Well, that's not the way it works. And it's not, first of all, it's not the way you should handle it with the player that's got the lead. It's not the way, hold on, Rob. It's not the way you should handle it with the players that are competing with him, that are trying to catch him. And it most importantly, and this is the most important thing, it's not the way you handle it with the fans that are trying to show some interest in the game. And this is what happens when you allow Poindexter douches to overwhelm a sporting contest. And if you saw those four-eyed, bespectacle humps that were all over that golf course, you would agree with me that they nerded out, and it's a nerd group. By the way, there are nerds all around the game of golf. I play with some of them. I know what they're like. It's like, let me just say, that's not the letter of the law in the way it's properly supposed to do that. You're supposed to take your left foot and put it over the red line as opposed to putting your right foot over the... Shut the F up and let the guys with the 29-inch waists play golf and enjoy the sport. When rules become overwhelming, it's happened in every sport, it just sucks. And the thing is, there was more pointing to drop it over here, put your club over here. And I understand that it's the way it works, but it just was ridiculous. And the thing about golf, they have actually had rulings based on douche fans that call the tournament and say, I was watching on television, and he put a towel under his right knee when he took a shot. That's assisting his lie. That type of crap. He didn't want to get his pants dirty, and I think it was Craig Stadler like a million years ago. I remember that one, and they called up, and they screwed him because of it.
I'm not sure that's where he needs to worry about getting his pants dirty. Mr. Stadler, the walrus.
That's a Craig Stadler joke from years gone by.
Great joke in 1978, I promise.
It ends up that the fat guy from Northern Ireland started choking like a dog, and so it ended up not being relevant, the stroke either way, and he won the U.S. Open. So the last thing I wanted to say was the perfect storm. So you got the rules officials who really mucked it up. And there was a lot of controversy online. Then you got, as Oscar mentioned, you've got the Fox broadcasters that are just horrible. I mean, horrible. I don't know. They dug it. Just because you're a former player does not mean you belong in the broadcast booth. And then the last part of this, the champion is the dick of dicks. He's a complete
and you're rooting for him
douche.
the entire way because he hasn't had any on-air camera time. You're like, oh, man, former addict. He's recovering. He's gotten through this. Like, what a redemption story. He must be so humbled.
Right, and so you get the last putt or some of the last great shots, right? You get that, and it's like Dustin Johnson, DJ, has just made the shot of a lifetime to win the Look at that shot that comes up to the green. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like this. He gets it done. The stroke penalty won't matter. And you say, and they look at him, and here's his reaction. DJ, where's
like
the booger sugar DJ?
Uber douche.
Wow.
Absolute. And I believe I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think it's complete stupidity.
You think that's what it is?
I think he's got tremendous guts. I think he's got amazing athletic ability. He is such a douche. It comes out of his pores, and he can't do that. Maybe because of all the adversity that he brought upon himself.
It's resting douche face.
Thank you, resting douche face. Not to be confused with resting bitch face. And I'm looking at the guy, and this is the guy that apparently was like before he got suspended, he was banging other players' wives, and he's doing lines of coke, and he's like, and they suspended him, and he was down in the pits of despair. So it's a rags to riches, not really rags to riches, because he's still got the trophy.
He's like Sheer McGavin.
Yeah. But he should be at that level. There should be someone around him to say, hey, this is how you need to play this, because he's got a miraculous backstory.
Dustin doesn't show a lot of emotion. DJ. Give me a guy that's a spokesperson for the game.
I want McGruff the crime dog to step out on that green with him and say, look, kids, you can say no to drugs and dreams do come true.
Exactly. he has got such a great story he could build on. It would be so easy for him to be likable.
It was just, it was the most. Carla comes into me yesterday because the last hour, I said, I want to watch the U.S. Open for the last hour after the whole deck debacle. And I said, that's all I want for Father's Day. So the game's over and she comes out and she has a little glass of wine for me. And she says, so why, you seem like you're in a bad mood. I said, I am in a bad mood. The USGA and the horrible Joe Buck, by the way. Joe Buck, whose entire style of announcing is like this. Joe Buck, who has that snarky attitude like that. You'd say, Joe Buck, your breakfast is here. Well, look at that. It's an omelet with mushrooms and onions in it. How about that? That tastes pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, Mr. Buck, your rent-a-car is ready. Well, just like I asked for, a mid-size sedan. Doesn't that make me real happy right now? And Dustin Johnson has won the U.S. Open. Hey, I'd like to thank our team of great broadcast color guys that really didn't make a call about this USGA debacle. They were too busy mocking my tone, which was everybody sucks. The whole thing, I was in the worst mood. You know, Nancy, and I am here to formally apologize for my expose, well, not really, on Jim Nance, but Nance takes the Masters tournament and turns it into this just wonderful thing that lifts everybody up. This U.S. Open Fox broadcast, between the rules and the horrible champion and the hack broadcasting, it was just,
you know, what Fox needs,
it was a mess last year. I didn't watch it last year, but it was a mess last year.
What Fox needs, if they're going to continue doing golf coverage, they need to really go full Fox and have animated dancing robots.
Well, they did one thing, and Oscar, if you watched a little, you may know what I'm talking about. There's they do one thing. Well, two things, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to go full sexist on it.
Oh,
there's one.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
The
there's a lady
reporter?
named Holly Saunders, who is the Holly Saunders. I think she shops at her own special tight dress store that she has because she had
the TDS, Mike.
No,
they were in a variety
tighter.
of different colors.
No, I need it tighter.
I need it tighter. And then they have her in the studio doing these holographs of the golf holes with the peaks and the valleys.
It's like a Univision weather girl.
Is she, Mike? Help me, because I missed the broadcast yesterday. Is she hotter than Doris Burke, who was on the court for the basketball game? We're gonna get to him in a moment because
our tribute to just a little bit.
Wow,
just ever so slightly.
Wow,
they have Holly Saunders, but here's the thing. So they're all being so careful not to acknowledge the fact that this woman is model attractive, and she really is.
Yeah.
And she's a very competent broadcaster, and it has nothing to do with what she's doing when she's
Sure
there.
she is.
But you've
Those
got the guy. You
cans,
can,
Mike. Those cans.
you can look at the guy. You can look at the guys, and then of course they kick it back to the tower, where it's like, "Thank you, Holly." What a lovely description. What a lovely description of the eighth hole that was. Well, let's get back to it. Dustin Johnson, who's going to be competing for that. Paul Azinger, that looks pretty difficult. Why didn't they tell him that? I don't know. I think it sucks. And it just goes on.
That was Paul Azinger.
Yeah, Paul Azinger. They just, Brad Faxon, what do you think about it? I didn't like it either. It's just, the whole thing, it was this big mess. I mean, when you look at the actual technical coverage of the tournament, the camera angles and the photography,
overhead shots were gorgeous.
Some of them were, but the actual camera work itself looked like I was watching the 1982 British Open. Remember when they used to kick it over to the feed in Britain, and we're like, "Why is it so blurry?" Well, it's because they're using British cameras that aren't as sophisticated as ours. You know, we haven't purchased ours from the Japanese. You see, it's just it's incredible.
Mike, I have one more question. If you'll entertain one more question, what was Paul Azinger's opinion of the ruling of the stroke penalty?
I don't know. I don't know. I think that's really bad. Here's the thing.
Where's Holly?
Let's go back to the truck, and Holly's going to show you the 11th hole. Thank you, Holly. That's fantastic. Congratulations to Dustin Johnson. Dustin, it's the U.S. Open. You've risen from obscurity. You were suspended. You were addicted to cocaine. What do you like to say? Yeah, pretty good. That was the whole U.S. Open. It just was a suck fest. Thank you. So for those of you that really do watch golf on television, the 4 people in our audience, you probably really enjoyed that last segment. So thank you very much. We'll take a break, come back with the news you may not need right here on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Oh, hi. I love to spend the day at the beach with the sun and the fun and my oiled muscles. But at the end of the day, I want the funny. And I get so angry. Now, I listen to the Mike O'Mara Show every weekday at 7 p.m. And they make me the funny jokes and the laughter and things. And I love it. Sure, why not? The Mike O'Mara Show every night, Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. on 97.1 The Wave, your beach station.
Glad to be on in Ocean City and surrounding beach areas. We're delighted to be on down at the beach. And check us out on 97.1. We love that station. It's fantastic. Hey, do you hate getting new eyeglasses? The choices, the hassle, the expense? Forget about it. Warby Parker, that's the answer. No more outrageously priced eyewear. Prescription glasses at Warby Parker start at just $95. It's where I get my glasses, and that includes frames, lenses, and coating. Not only are the prices great, but they're incredible because it's convenient and easy. They have a free try-on program at home. You can try out 5 pairs for 5 days. If you're in need of eyeglasses, you won't get a better deal. You won't get better quality, and they send them to you to try on. WarbyParker.com/TMOS. That's where I want you to go. Choose your 5 favorite styles. They're shipped to you with no obligation. Then you have 5 days for family and friends to help you decide which frames are best for you. Warby Parker is your alternative to overpriced eyewear because there is no middleman. Warby Parker sells directly to the customer, so whether you visit one of their 30 retail locations, just like I did, or go to warbyparker.com/TMOS, you're going to get a great deal. Go to warbyparker.com/TMOS to pick out your 5 favorite frames, and they'll ship them to you for free. That's warbyparker.com/TMOS to get started with a free home try-on kit. warbyparker.com/TOM.
How's that?
/TMOS. I say it every day. You'd think I would have gotten it right by now.
News.
Yeah. As you probably know by now, Meatloaf collapsed on stage Thursday during a show in Canada.
It's sad,
Do we have
right?
the audio by? I know you sometimes keep it handy.
I think
don't
I
know
might
whether
be able
you
to bring
have
it up. Let me have a
As
moment.
bad as it looked at the time, Meatloaf will not die. We Rob and I kind
It
of
was
made
a
that call
50-50
on
shot.
Friday's show. We kind of made that call thinking he was going to be okay.
He's forever, Mike.
Yes, on Friday, his Facebook page posted an update blaming severe dehydration.
Sure.
And saying, quote, he was admitted to a nearby hospital to undergo routine tests. His vital signs are stable and normal. He is responsive and eating cake.
He had a few bites of cake. Mike, I have audio of the concert.
This is the concert. This is Meatloaf, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me sleep on it. Baby, baby, let me sleep on it.
Enjoy the
I
cake,
love
Meat.
that so
Marvin Lee a
much.
day, Mike.
He was released from the hospital later the day. Meat is 68 years young. And
Really?
yes.
He looks great.
He looks fantastic. Everybody knew that Finding Dory was going to be huge. Even my kid kind of picks up on it because he's into that right now.
Right.
Perfect timing. It may be the first movie I take him to, but I'm not quite sure
Robert
yet.
went and saw it.
I'm not sure.
How old's Robert?
Robert is 13.
All right.
So,
Okay.
how's your house?
In shambles.
Yeah, that's right.
This really isn't such a big deal because everybody knew it was going to be big. It had the biggest opening ever for an animated
Huge.
movie. $136.2 million.
Wow.
Hey, how about that? Shrek the Third set the previous record of $121.6 million. Shrek the Third. That to me is just when a threequel actually does that well. That just kills me.
But you know, Toy Story 3 was actually, it held up. That was a pretty
Murder.
Yeah, I just, I like new. I like the new. Shrek the Third was in 2007. Finding Nemo had a $70.3 million opening weekend in 2003. So, he's totally into that clownfish and stuff. There's a little Thai place, sushi place we go to where they've got the clownfish, and he goes, Nemo. Aww. So I'm thinking, but he's right at that, he doesn't sit still. Doesn't he? Shocker. A little boy doesn't sit still, but I might take him.
You'll need to get one of the adapters. I remember we took Robert, I think it might have been the first Madagascar movie. It might have been one of Robert's first. And he wasn't heavy enough to keep the movie seat down. So
I think
every
my
time I
little
sat
guy-
him down, he'd start moving up. So we had to get the adapter on it.
My soon-to-be 3-year-old, I believe, will be okay. He's like, the kid is
He's all
tall.
muscle?
Stocky.
The kid is,
just like
the
his
kid-
papa.
He is, no, thank God Carla's got that part, that coal miner side of her family, and he got that gene. He got that gene, thank God for
miner
him.
side?
I swear to God. He could subsist on a diet of cotton candy and butter until his 18th birthday, and he would still end up looking like Dustin Johnson.
Wow.
Anyway, a truck carrying deli meat got into a crash on a highway in Piscataway, New Jersey. You know where Piscataway is? Your family's from Carteret.
It's northern,
right?
isn't it? Let me check. I think it's
I'm
northern
not sure.
New Jersey.
It's Friday morning with a truck. So it was a truck carrying meat collided with a truck carrying bread. It's the only reason I put this. It's the only reason I put this in here.
Fantasy.
It took about an hour and a half to clean up all the inadvertent sandwiches. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but they did get it cleaned up. I hope they let the inmates do it, like Jared. Let Jared go out there and clean all the meat.
All
and
those
bread.
rest stops are so far away from each other.
Yes.
If you were stuck in that jam and there was like, oh, there we go, an Italian. Why not? That'd be awesome. Just to grab some food.
I saw, Oscar, online over the weekend, the longest, China has the longest traffic jam in history. There were people that were stranded for days.
I've heard
multiple
that.
days.
I've heard that. And
China.
I don't know what you do.
I don't know. I think
Right?
would
You
think
leave your car and come back. Like, get a day's in.
You have to order food in.
Ni hao.
Mike, I'm sorry. Piscataway is in the northwestern part of the state in Middlesex County.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's the first day of summer, so we found a list of tips from eye doctors about how to protect your eyes from the sun. The first one is don't stare at the sun.
How's that?
Make America great again.
Are you listening, Adrian?
Here are 3 more. Adrian, don't stare at the sun. All right? Here are a few more that might be a little more helpful. Number 1, don't assume your car windows protect your eyes. A recent study found windshields block about 96% of UV rays, but side windows only block 70%, so you should always wear sunglasses if you're driving while it's sunny out. I didn't know that. That's interesting. You get the best protection if you wear sunglasses and a hat. Some UV rays can still sneak in through the sides of your sunglasses, so the
You also
shade
get
helps.
the best protection and the best pieces of ass when you wear sunglasses and a hat
at the beach.
At the beach.
At the beach.
A big
And then-
hat.
So, by the way, if you're wearing a really oversized hat and you've got the sunglasses,
yes,
and someone walks up to you on the beach, whether you're a man or a woman, you might want to sound like Rob Spiewak's best impression of a famous old actress that he does reach. So you wear the floppy
Yes.
hat and you have the glasses, and then someone taps you and say, "Excuse me, is this part of the beach taken?" And then you're supposed to answer like this.
I've been here since I rented my umbrella at 2:30 this afternoon, and I don't want to buy my picture in a viewer. Move on.
Rob Spiewak's Betty Davis, ladies and gentlemen. Thank
Does
you
this
very
look
much.
cancerous to you? I keep scratching it.
By the way, when you buy sunglasses, make sure the label either says UV 400 or 100% UV protection. And they did a whole thing, I think it was on the Today Show, where you can get the 100% UV protection from the cheapest. You get a $9, $9 pair of sunglasses and get the same protection you get with the expensive ones. How dark the lenses are don't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't matter none. Thank you.
You better try your grammar. What's the matter with you? You're not even talking.
The last one is check the labels on your medications. It's what I do. Antibiotics can make you more vulnerable to UV rays, so birth control pills can too. So if you're out there catting around, no, that's terrible. You might have to be even more careful about wearing sunglasses and sunblock. If
Don't
you have.
worry, lifeguard. I'm safe. Wherever you want.
Oh, God. A company out of Colorado just introduced America's first wine for cats. Thank you. There's been a cat wine on sale in Japan for a few years, but it was made out of grapes, which can be dangerous for cats, so it never made it over here. But this all-American cat wine is made out of beets, which are safe And no, it doesn't have alcohol in it. You can buy it online at apollopeak.com, starting at $5 for a small bottle. And after you do that, you can go home to your dirty house where you live alone and was featured on Hoarders. Thank you very much. Good luck, cat lovers. Thank you. They're like Rob. They're like 41st names that I would say right now, but it would crush people. So
I'm sure
not
it's
gonna
fine.
do that. Yeah. That's right. But we'll do that after the show. Anyway, a
I'm
little
right there
something,
with you, buddy.
a little something. An 18-year-old in Jonesboro, Arkansas, named Derek Thomas, was in court last week. It was for a hearing on an indecent exposure charge. He was arrested last month for lying on a sidewalk naked. But apparently one indecent exposure charge just wasn't enough to satisfy him, because after he got out of court, he quickly whipped off his shirt, pulled down his pants, ran back into the courtroom and yelled, quote, "Court is back in session."
He's got a funny bone.
Yeah, he's got something.
A cop tackled him and took him to a holding cell, and he was hit with new charges for indecent exposure, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and obstructing governmental operations. The cop who tackled him was hailed as a hero, not for just subduing the man, but spending the rest of the day at work smelling like root beer. Thank you very much. We will take a break and come back with the Audio Vault and Rob Spiewak right here on the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody.
It's Tony and Gary.
Hey there, Gary Stein. Have you heard about this story that was in the newspaper? Going to read you the headline. Man accused of killing lawyer receives a new attorney.
I love when people are practical.
Or how about this from the Wall Street Journal? Colleagues finger billionaire.
I think if you're going to get into trouble, you might as well feel good.
When did the Wall Street Journal go in that direction? We've got more funny headlines, more funny stories, new music from Paul Simon, and more on this week's episode of The Tony Perkins Show featuring Gary Stein.
The Tony Perkins Show.
Just want to say the Mike O'Mara Show does not align itself with any shows that talk about heavy petting.
Hey, here.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Vistaprint. Vistaprint is the best no matter what you need for the home or office. Postcards, flyers, banners. We love Vistaprint, but here's the deal. We've been telling you about it. 500 business cards, $9.99. All you have to do is enter the promo code TMOS at checkout. And by the way, if you send along your business cards after you get them at Vistaprint to the Mike O'Mara Show, you might get one read on the air like Rob's going to do for us right now.
Let's say you got something you need to take care of, but you don't have the equipment to handle it. Call Mobile Machinery Service, LLC. Ask for Tom Casson. Look, he's got a custom graphic right there. All the information,
nice.
all you need. Thank you for sending that, Tom.
We love it, and it's easy to make. They're totally customizable front and back. Upgrade the card stock. You can do anything you want. Every one of us has designed a card at Vistaprint, and guess what? They're easy. They're 100% user-friendly, and they always look great. Just remember to use the code TMOS at Vistaprint.com. You get 500 business cards for $9.99. That is a 50% savings. Just visit Vistaprint.com, create your custom card, and use promo code TMOS at checkout. Remember, TMOS. Go to Vistaprint.com and send us your cards. We would truly appreciate that, and you might get it on the air. It'd be great. Let's open up the Audio Vault for today, Monday, June 20th, first day of summer, Rob Spiewak.
We already talked about the Cavaliers' win last night, and LeBron, a very emotional guy at the end of the game, actually fell to the court in tears, and the lady with the glasses couldn't get him to stop hugging people. Very exciting. But one thing you didn't hear is in Cleveland, in the arena where they normally play, they let people in to watch the game on the big screen. And this is a pretty great piece of audio. These are the fans inside the arena. Keep in mind, they're just watching the game on television.
Just when they won?
Yeah, and this is when the game ended.
Happy for him.
Pretty amazing.
Very cool.
And that doesn't even count the tens of thousands of people that were in the streets outside the arena.
It's one of the great old cities in America. It's got so much pride.
Yep.
They take so much crap, and that's what I love about
He's
sports.
King James. He proved it.
He did. Oh, he walked the walk. There's absolutely no doubt. And, you know, here's the great thing about it. It wasn't all, he wasn't sobbing because of money. He wasn't doing that.
No.
He was, and look, you're going to say, oh, Mike, you bought in. Yeah, I'd buy into the hype. I do. He came back to his city. He came back to his home.
He risked a lot. He risked a lot to go
really
back.
Did.
And he brought the championship to Cleveland, and it
was cool. I watched it.
Sports
I watched it with Robert. I would not be watching a basketball game on my own.
That's
obviously.
fun. You share that with him.
But
though.
he said, "You know what? Why that's great, Dad?" I said, "Why?" He says, "Because you know what? LeBron's a good guy, and he deserves a ring. And when you get that level, it's cool. I like.
He
that.
wasn't always in the eyes of Cleveland a good guy. And he took a lot of crap, and a lot of guys would take that crap and say, always be bitter and not go back. By the way, U.S. Open champion Dustin Johnson was asked about that when he was told that they won. You know what he said?
What?
Really? All right.
Did Paul Lazinger watch the game?
Is that your wife?
I don't know. Yeah, isn't he? Is it Gretzky? Is that who he's married to? Paulina Gretzky?
Mike, I don't know enough about the backstory, but I'll look that up right now.
Yeah, look up and see who he's married. I think he's married to a hottie Gretzky model.
2016
continues. Yes, his daughter, Gretzky's daughter,
Paulina Gretzky.
Yes. You're absolutely right.
So he's got it all going right.
2016 continues with another sad death and a tragic, apparently an avoidable one. Anton Yelchin, who is best known as playing Chekhov in the modern reboot of Star Trek, was pinned behind his own car and a concrete pillar. He was only 27. I really enjoyed the Star Trek reboot. Here's one of his scenes as Chekhov.
Russian whiz kid, what's your name? Chanko? Chirpov?
Ensign Chekhov, Pavel Andreevich, sir.
Fine.
May I have your attention, please? At 2200 hours, telemetry detected an anomaly in the neutral zone, what appeared to be a lightning storm in space.
Just a kid.
Thank you for your time.
27. And it's so sad because that one seems so avoidable. So best wishes to his family in this tough time.
It really is amazing. And, he was really great on I used to talk a lot about that show, Huff, that was canceled. And that show with Hank Azaria that was on. But he was great. He was on that show also, and just a tremendous talent. He really was going to make some great movies in the future. It sucks. It really
Mike, another great talent, Justin Bieber. I know I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't bring this to you. He fell off the stage in Canada this weekend.
I'm glad you have that. I'm really glad. I was almost going to lead with it. Then I said, no, it's more audio visual than it is.
And you can actually hear the thump, which I think is nice. Here's Justin Bieber falling off the stage in Canada. There it was.
Good thing I'm like a cat and I landed on my feet. Oh my God.
He says, good thing I'm like a cat and I landed on my feet.
Landed on my feet because I'm just so badass. Yeah. Such a little punk ass feet.
I just want to hear the bump again. Hold on. That's nice. Graham Norton had Charlie Sheen on, and Charlie Sheen told a pretty great story about Donald Trump. Charlie Sheen is not a Donald Trump fan.
But this is, look, there's a lot of crap. I mean, it's a cottage industry.
Sure.
To slam the orange one. But I will tell you, this one, first of all, I could have sworn that I saw a website that said Sheen was one of the Trump supporters. Not the case, really, and this is the best story I've ever heard about Donald Trump. This going away, and it doesn't come from a credible source, but there's really no reason I think Charlie has to lie about this.
I don't think so. This sounds to me like it might be real. They were together at some sort of dinner party around one of Charlie
Have you heard
Sheen's
this,
weddings.
Oscar?
No, I haven't heard it.
This is pretty funny.
Well, I think it was right before one of Charlie Sheen's weddings.
And so he started saying, I'm sorry I can't make your wedding, but, I want to give you an early wedding gift as a gesture from me and Melania. So he says, these are platinum diamond Harry Winston, and he pulls off his cufflinks, and he gives them to me. And so I'm like, oh, gosh, Mr. Trump, you really shouldn't do this. He goes, no, it's the least I can do, and, have a great marriage and all that. 6 months later, I had some jewelry getting appraised at the house, She took the loop, spent about 4 seconds, and kind of recoiled from it, much like people do from Trump. And so she says, in their finest moment, this is cheap pewter and bad zirconias. And they're stamped Trump. And I just thought, what does this really say about the man? That he said, here's like a great wedding gift, and it's just a bag of dog.
So there's that.
It's amazing. That show, by the way, I want to thank my buddy DCO who hit me to that show a long time ago. You want to see really one of the greatest talk shows ever. Graham Norton is absolutely
It's like all bets
incredible.
are off. He gets a great moment out of everybody.
Everybody.
I don't know how he does it.
Incredible television show. Really is.
I remain, even though Robert's not into wrestling much anymore, I remain a fan of John Cena because of all the work he does for charities and things. Very smart guy. Did you know he speaks Mandarin?
Oh, I did not know that.
Here is John Cena at a press conference for WWE in China last week.
刚对不起，因为我会试着用中文，但是大多数时候我的中文只马马虎虎。我会说慢，我会说容易，所以谢谢，因为现在你们 得有很多耐心。
So he's smart.
Is he being legit?
Yes.
This is not.
He
a
can
joke?
really do that.
Yes.
If he was
Yes,
just
yes.
good looking, he might be unstoppable.
Yeah.
What's great, if you watch the whole press conference, he goes, he says all this stuff in the native tongue of Mandarin Chinese, and he goes, WWE, WWE.
The guy's a man amongst men.
He's a very,
Reminds
very...
me of that noodle commercial that's all over online.
Which one?
Have you seen the noodle commercial
not.
that I'm telling you? The Japanese noodle commercial?
I've not seen it.
You haven't seen that?
I haven't seen it.
I
It's
laugh
like
at it. This is made for you.
stereotypical.
This
It
is
is.
made.
It was like, this is a Spiewak production.
Oh, I'll find it right after the show.
Write down the product, Oscar, on a piece of paper right now. Just write it down. What the noodles are called.
Oh, I don't know what they're called. I've seen them.
Oh, you got to
I don't know
get.
what they're
It's called. Let's see, pay noodles.
Yeah.
And it's noodle, noodle. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Well, add it to
really
my
is.
shopping list.
Well,
Nothing else.
You know what? Not only find it, but when you find it, play it on the. I don't know if it translates, but it might translate to
For a bonus show thing?
to the bonus show.
Okay, I will bring it along.
Definitely a bonus show deal.
Apparently, there's a website. I'm not familiar with it, but it's called Pornhub.
Yes.
And they're doing now porn
Not safe for work.
for the blind, where they have a descriptive service. Let us end with this.
They have a description of the porn.
Yes, Stephen Colbert actually played an actual clip
Attaboy.
from Pornhub. And Mike, I don't want you to get too turned on, so if I need to stop this, let me know. But this is porn for the blind.
A white woman in a cheap-looking red power suit sits next to a tall, lanky, white, middle-aged man with brown hair, a white shirt, gray suit, and a red striped tie.
We move to an interview where we see a teen girl from the waist up sitting in a bright white room.
Cut to a side shot inside the cab, and a girl gets in, black hair, lots of makeup, and squeezing a nice, curvy figure into a tight blue dress.
Great description. Great description. Finally, at last, the blind can enjoy pornography's low production value.
Mike, I'd love to play more audio, but I need some alone time. That is your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Monday, everybody.
That's it. Another Mike O'Mara Show is come and gone. Be sure and join us for more fun and more thrills at MikeO'MaraShow.com. If you want to correspond with our show with a letter or package, send it to TMOS Box 2796, Leesburg, Virginia 20177. To get your message or request into the, well, I want to say Wednesday, but I'm not going to say that. Just the regular mailbag.
The mailbag.
Sometimes we do it Wednesday, sometimes we do it Thursday. But more often than not, we do it on Thursday because Thursday's more convenient for it. Am I digressing a little bit?
No, you're fine.
I'm sorry. Don't forget to take our survey. No, that's not up there anymore. I'm going to rewrite the whole thing. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana. Hold on, let me grab it right now.
Yeah.
Okay. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, this is Mike O'Mara saying we'll see you next time, everybody. So long.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
One last thing. Please remember that MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon is the best way to shop for anything and everything. So, shop Amazon and get there through our website. Always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. Now, go in peace.
Remember the 5th of November. Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.